A really quick and easy pudding with a pleasing caramel flavor. If you have some dulce de leche lying around, you can make this in less than 10 minutes. Dulce de leche is a fun and a dangerous thing to have around. All you need to make this is a can of condensed milk and a pressure cooker. You can watch my video on how to make dulce de leche in a pressure cooker. Puddings are one of the easiest desserts you could make with available pantry ingredients. Normally puddings use cornstarch to give thickness to the pudding. Puddings can also be made using eggs. Here is an eggless recipe for a pudding with dulce de leche in it. I've used relatively less cornstarch in the recipe as I like it that way. Take this recipe as just an idea. You could play around with the ingredients and the proportions and make pudding to suit your preference and taste. You can find the ingredient list and the variations in the description below the video. This is a really simple recipe. All we need is some whole milk, some cornstarch, there's some dulce de leche, and we have some fresh cream here. I'm using Amul 25% fat. I've simmered this milk with a piece of vanilla bean and let it sit overnight in the refrigerator. The milk is cold. Now I will add the cornstarch to the milk. I'll whisk in the cornstarch just to make sure there are no lumps. It will be great if the dulce de leche is dark and intense. You can also add in some vanilla extract in case you're not using the vanilla bean. I'm not going to be using any sugar in this recipe as I find this sweet enough. If you need it to be sweeter, you could stir in a little bit of brown sugar. You could also use some coconut milk and some coconut milk powder for a subtle coconut flavor. We'll take the milk in this saucepan. We're just taking all the ingredients in this saucepan. Now the cream and the dulce de leche. Now we'll whisk all of these together. We will cook this on low heat, stirring it constantly. The dulce de leche will melt and the pudding will thicken. After about 3 to 5 minutes, the pudding will thicken and we'll take this off the heat. You'll see bubbles here and there. Now we'll take this off the heat and then transfer it to the dessert glasses. If you suspect that the pudding has turned lumpy, please do strain the pudding before you put it into the dessert glass. And so that's it. Our very simple and very homey dulce de leche pudding is ready. You could chill the pudding and garnish it with some chocolate curls just before serving it. The pudding will thicken further after it is chilled. If you haven't tried dulce de leche yet, you absolutely must try it. Please do try this pudding and leave your comments for me. I'll be back with some more recipes and tips. Please subscribe. Please stay tuned.